Did you know that a single mistake in the UK could cost you £18,000 or even get you deported? Starting this April, the UK is rolling out one of the harshest immigration crackdowns in years, and thousands of people are at risk without even realizing it. Many think minor errors, like missing a deadline, working extra hours, or not updating documents, are harmless. But now, small mistakes can trigger huge fines or visa cancellation almost instantly. So the real question is, are you unknowingly at risk? In this video, we'll reveal 10 shocking reasons people are getting fined or deported, and how you can protect yourself starting today. Number 1. Overstaying your visa. Let's start with one of the most common, and most dangerous, mistakes: overstaying your visa. It might sound simple, but this single issue is responsible for thousands of fines and deportation cases every year. And with the new crackdown starting in April, authorities are now tracking this more aggressively than ever before. Here's how it usually happens. Someone checks their visa once, assumes they remember the expiry date, and then life gets busy. Days turn into weeks, and before they know it, they've already crossed the legal limit. What feels like a small delay can instantly turn you into an illegal resident in the system. And once that happens, the consequences are severe: heavy fines, visa bans, and even forced removal from the UK. What makes this even more alarming is that there's often no warning. You won't get a reminder call or a friendly email. The system simply flags your status, and from that moment, you're at risk of serious legal action. Imagine building your life, career, or education in the UK, only to lose it all because of a missed date. So what can you do to stay safe? First, treat your visa expiry like a non-negotiable deadline. Set multiple reminders, on your phone, email, even written notes if needed. Second, always plan your renewal well in advance, not at the last minute. And finally, if you're unsure about your status, don't guess, verify it immediately through official channels. Number 2. Working illegally. This is where many people unknowingly fall into trouble, working illegally without even realizing it. You might think, I have a job, I'm earning honestly, what's the problem? But under UK immigration rules, it's not just about working, it's about how much, where, and under what conditions you're allowed to work. For example, if you're on a student visa, you're usually limited to a specific number of working hours per week. Now imagine this: you pick up an extra shift, help out during busy hours, or take a second part-time job to manage expenses. It feels responsible, right? But in the eyes of the system, you've just broken your visa conditions. And with the new enforcement measures, these violations are being detected faster and punished more strictly. What makes this even riskier is that it's not just you who faces consequences. Employers hiring workers outside their legal limits can face massive penalties, which means they are now more likely to report or avoid anyone with unclear work rights. This puts you in a vulnerable position where one mistake can lead to job loss, fines, and even visa cancellation. So how do you protect yourself? First, clearly understand your visa's work limitations. Don't rely on assumptions or what others are doing. Second, keep track of your working hours every week. And most importantly, if an employer asks you to just work a little extra, think twice, because that little extra could cost you everything you've worked for. Comment "I follow the rules" if you're serious about staying safe. Let's see who's truly aware that we spend hours researching to protect you, so take 1 second to subscribe. It's a small click that means a lot. Number 3. Renting without proper documents. This is one rule that catches people completely off guard: renting a place without the correct documents. You might think finding a room or apartment is just a simple agreement between you and a landlord. But in the UK, it's much more serious than that. Landlords are legally required to check your immigration status before renting to you, and failing this check can put you directly under investigation. Here's how people get into trouble. You find a place quickly, maybe through a friend or a local contact. The landlord doesn't ask too many questions, and you move in without verifying whether your documents were properly checked. It feels convenient at the time, but this shortcut can turn into a major legal risk. With the new crackdown, Authorities are actively monitoring rental records, and if something doesn't match, it can trigger a chain reaction of checks on your visa status. What's worse is that once flagged, you could be asked to provide proof of your legal stay at any time. If your documents are incomplete, outdated, or missing, you may face serious penalties or even removal proceedings. Imagine being settled in your home, only to suddenly face questions that could affect your entire future. To stay safe, always ensure your landlord conducts proper right-to-rent checks. Keep copies of all your documents, passport, visa, and approval letters, updated and accessible. And never agree to informal arrangements just to save time or money. Because when it comes to renting in the UK, cutting corners can cost you far more than rent. Number 4. Providing false information. This is one of the fastest ways to get flagged under the new UK crackdown, providing false or misleading information, even if it's unintentional. Many people assume that only fake passports or forged documents count, but the reality is much broader. Even a small incorrect detail on your application can raise serious red flags. Here's how it usually happens. You're filling out a form, maybe for a visa extension, job application, or official registration. You rush through it, guess a date, slightly adjust financial details, or forget to update a previous address. It seems harmless in the moment. But UK systems are now more digitally connected than ever, cross-checking your information across multiple databases. If something doesn't match, your profile can be instantly flagged for review. And once that happens, the consequences can escalate quickly. Authorities may assume there was intent to deceive, even if it was just a mistake. This can lead to visa rejection, cancellation, heavy fines, or even a long-term ban from re-entering the UK. Imagine losing years of effort, all because of a detail you didn't double-check. So how do you protect yourself? First, never rush official paperwork. Treat every form like it's legally binding, because it is. Second, always provide accurate and verifiable information, even if it feels inconvenient. And finally, review everything multiple times before submitting. Because in today's system, even the smallest inconsistency can turn into a life-changing problem. Comment details matter if you're someone who double-checks everything. Let's see who's careful here. We put serious effort into these videos to keep you protected, so take a second to subscribe. It's just one click, but it keeps us going. Number 5. Dropping out of studies, students. If you're an international student, this one is extremely serious and often misunderstood. Many students think that if they stop attending classes or decide to drop out, they can simply figure things out later. But in the UK, the moment you leave your course or stop attending, your university is required to report it. And once that happens, your visa can become invalid almost immediately. Here's the reality. Universities are directly connected to immigration authorities. So if your attendance drops, you miss too many classes, or you officially withdraw, it sends a signal that you're no longer meeting your visa conditions. What feels like a personal or academic decision suddenly becomes a legal issue. And under the new crackdown, these reports are being processed faster than ever. Imagine this: you're struggling with studies, stress, or finances, and you decide to take a break without informing anyone. A few weeks later, you find out your visa status has changed, and now you're at risk of deportation or future bans. It's not just about education anymore, it's about your right to stay in the country. So what should you do instead? If you're facing difficulties, always communicate with your university first. Most institutions offer support services, extensions, or alternatives. Never disappear or make silent decisions. Because in this system, staying silent can cost you everything you came for. Number 6. Financial requirement violations. This is a silent risk that many people completely overlook, not meeting or maintaining your financial requirements. On paper, it seems simple: show a certain amount of money in your bank account, and you're good to go. But in reality, it's not just about showing funds once, it's about consistently maintaining financial stability throughout your stay. Here's where things go wrong. Some people arrange funds temporarily just to meet visa requirements, then withdraw or spend most of it soon after approval. Others miscalculate their expenses and unknowingly drop below the required balance. It might feel like a normal financial decision, but from an immigration perspective, it signals something serious: you may not be able to support yourself. With the new UK crackdown, financial records are being checked more carefully, especially during visa extensions or reviews. If authorities notice irregular patterns or insufficient funds, it can lead to visa refusal, cancellation, or further investigation. Imagine planning your future, paying tuition, rent, and bills, only to have everything disrupted because your account didn't meet the expected level. So how can you stay safe? First, always maintain a financial buffer, not just the bare minimum. Think ahead: unexpected expenses happen. Second, avoid sudden large withdrawals that could raise questions. And finally, regularly monitor your account to ensure you're always within the required limits. Because when it comes to finances, it's not just about having money, it's about proving consistent responsibility and stability. Comment financially prepared if you're someone who plans ahead and stays secured. We put real effort into breaking this down for you, so don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it keeps us motivated to help you. Number 7. Criminal offenses, even minor ones. This might surprise you, but in the UK, even a small mistake with the law can have serious consequences for your immigration status. Many people think only major crimes lead to deportation, but under the new crackdown, even minor offenses are being taken much more seriously. We're talking about things like driving without proper insurance, unpaid fines, or minor legal violations. These might seem like everyday issues that can be fixed later, but once they're recorded in the system, they can raise concerns about your character and compliance with UK laws. And immigration authorities don't just look at one incident, they look at your overall record. Here's where it gets risky. A single unpaid fine might not seem like a big deal. But if it escalates, missed court dates, repeated violations, or ignoring official notices, it can quickly turn into a serious legal problem. And under stricter enforcement, this can lead to visa complications, rejection of future applications, or even removal from the country. Imagine building your life in the UK, working hard, studying, planning your future, and then losing it all over something that could have been avoided with a little caution. So what's the smart move? Always follow the law carefully, no matter how small the rule may seem. Pay fines on time, respond to any legal notices immediately, and never ignore official communication. Because in today's system, even a minor mistake can turn into a major consequence. Number 8. Employer sponsorship issues. This is a hidden danger that many workers don't see coming: problems with your employer's sponsorship status. You might be doing everything right, following the rules, working honestly, but if your employer makes a mistake, you could still face the consequences. In the UK, many work visas are tied directly to an employer who holds a sponsorship license. This means your legal right to stay depends not just on you, but also on whether your employer is fully compliant with immigration laws. Now here's the risky part: if that company loses its license, violates regulations, or fails an inspection, your visa can become invalid almost overnight. Imagine showing up to work one day, only to find out your company is under investigation. Suddenly, your job is at risk, and so is your right to stay in the country. It's a situation that feels completely out of your control, yet it can lead to job loss, visa curtailment, and a limited time to leave the UK or find another sponsor. So how do you protect yourself in something like this? First, always choose employers who are reputable and properly registered. Before accepting a job, check if they are on the official list of licensed sponsors. Second, stay informed. If there are any warning signs about your company, don't ignore them. And finally, always have a backup plan, just in case things change suddenly. Number 9. Missing immigration deadlines. One of the easiest mistakes to make, and one of the most costly, is missing important immigration deadlines. Many people think, "I'll get to it later," or "there's probably some leeway," but under the new UK crackdown, there is no room for error. Missing a single deadline can trigger fines, visa cancellations, or even removal from the country. Here's how it happens. Visas come with strict timelines for renewals, reporting changes, or updating personal information. Some people forget to submit documents, delay appointments, or miss critical notifications because they assume a short delay won't matter. But immigration authorities are now closely monitoring compliance, and late submissions are treated as serious violations. The consequences can escalate fast. A missed visa renewal date, a delayed reporting of address changes, or late financial proof could result in your application being refused automatically, fines being issued, or even a ban from re-entering the UK for years. What feels like a minor oversight can end up derailing your entire stay in the country. So how can you stay safe? Treat every deadline like a non-negotiable appointment. Set multiple reminders, mark your calendar, and prepare documents well in advance. Don't rely on memory or hope that things will be fine, because hope won't save you from official scrutiny. Number 10. Breaching visa conditions. This is the final, and one of the most critical, reasons people are now at risk under the UK crackdown: breaching your visa conditions. Many assume that as long as they are physically in the country and have a visa, they are safe. But in reality, every visa comes with strict rules about what you can and cannot do, and breaking them can have immediate, severe consequences. Breaching conditions can include things like working in a job not allowed on your visa, studying without permission, or even taking on unpaid internships that technically count as work. Some might think these are minor details, but the immigration system sees them as serious violations. With the new enforcement measures starting this April, authorities are now cross-checking your activities more closely than ever. Even small, unintentional breaches can trigger fines up to £18,000, visa cancellation, or even deportation. The scary part is how fast this can escalate. One breach could lead to your visa being revoked, which then triggers legal actions and potential removal from the UK. Your entire future, work, education, and residency can be at risk over what seems like a small mistake. So what's the key to staying safe? Know your visa inside out. Read all conditions carefully, follow them to the letter, and if you're unsure about an activity, verify it through official channels. Keep records of permissions, approvals, and communications. Being informed and cautious isn't just smart, it's the difference between staying in the UK safely or facing fines and deportation. Comment visa rules followed if you're committed to staying fully compliant and safe. We pour hours of research into these updates for you, so don't forget to subscribe. It's just one click, but it helps us keep protecting your future. The UK's new crackdown on immigration is more serious than ever, and as we've seen, the risks aren't always obvious. From overstaying your visa to working illegally, renting without proper documents, or breaching visa conditions, even small mistakes can now lead to £18,000 fines, visa cancellation, or deportation. The system is stricter, faster, and more connected, which means authorities can detect violations that might have gone unnoticed before. The key takeaway is that staying informed, organized, and cautious isn't optional, it's essential. Every detail matters: meeting deadlines, keeping finances in order, following visa conditions, and ensuring your employer or school is compliant. The consequences of ignoring these rules are not just legal, they can affect your career, education, and entire life in the UK. Even minor oversights, like missing a form or working an extra shift, can trigger serious penalties. But there's good news. By being proactive and aware, you can protect yourself and your future. Simple steps like setting reminders for visa deadlines, keeping copies of documents, confirming work restrictions, and following the law carefully can save you from enormous stress, fines, and the worst-case scenario, deportation. Knowledge and preparation are your best defenses. Remember, these rules are complex, and the stakes are high, but with careful planning, vigilance, and informed action, you can stay safe and secure in the UK. Take control now, because when it comes to immigration compliance, prevention is always better than crisis management. If you found this video valuable, comment "I'm staying safe" to show you're taking action. We put a lot of effort into bringing you this critical information, so please subscribe. It's just one click, and it helps us keep producing these life-saving updates.